talkSPORT.com/boxing.
OK, we are getting ever so close to half-time in these extra times. Which teams can maybe find the edge needed to seal the deal? We'll bring you that, of course. You're listening to Kick Off on talkSPORT with Ladbrokes. It's 18 and over. BeGambleAware.org.
French club Lens have described PSG's request to postpone their top-of-the-table Ligue 1 clash as troubling because it would mean bowing, quotes, to the demands of the most powerful. The French FA have received another request from PSG to postpone their clash against Lens to help with more preparation for their Champions League quarter-final tie against Liverpool. We know that PSG successfully requested to have their game against Nantes before the Chelsea game postponed. So we know this happens, but Lens are saying not so fast. So the basic question here is, will the French bow to favouritism? Eric Bieldeman is top journalist with L'Equipe. Eric, bon après-midi, my friend. How are you? Where is this going? Are Lens going to get their way, or will PSG get their way?
Hi, good afternoon, my friends. I am afraid that I fear that Paris Saint-Germain will win the contest versus Lens because the French professional league is really very close to Nasser El Khelaifi, the chairman of Paris Saint-Germain, who is the chairman of French football, and also the chairman, I would even say, of European football through the European Club Association. So we have there a very strong power, and the meaning of French football is that European challenge, and to win a European trophy is more important than to respect the home league.
Let's be honest, we've all found ourselves raging at a referee's decision at some stage. This feel familiar?
That is an absolutely shocking decision.
They've got a case in that it was a bad decision. It's such a poor decision.
Yeah, I think he's just made a bad decision in that instance.
But what does it take to get to the very top of football refereeing? Every referee starts with their county FA. It's a simple training course and you can take it as soon as you hit your 14th birthday. Once you've done that, you have to go through at least 11 hours of face-to-face training. You'll then graduate as a Level 7 official, which means you can take charge of county-level games. But hold your horses, there's still a long way to go to get to the Premier League. Your next step is to spend a year each at Levels 6, 5 and 4. This covers the top of the amateur game. Only at Level 3 do you start doing Northern Counties or Isthmian League level games, for example. If you've done this all quickly, you can reach Level 2 and ref your first National League match after, I don't know, 6 years? After getting enough experience at that level, you can apply to be a referee in the EFL. There's an interview, people watching you do games, and then, if the EFL are happy, you'll be granted a Level 1 licence to ref in games in League 2 and above. Now, they don't just say on you go to the Premier League, you have to work your way up through the divisions. Only after years of hard work and refereeing on cold Tuesday nights in Stoke can you be considered to do matches in some of Europe's very best stadiums. Now, who was the youngest to reach the very top? It was actually Michael Oliver. He reffed his first Premier League match in 2010 at the tender age of just 25. So if you want to follow in his footsteps, crack on. It'll only take you roughly a decade, thousands of hours of work and an incredibly thick skin. In total, there are 37,000 registered referees across England, but the PGMOL has only deemed 21 good enough for the top flight. That means there's not even a 1 in 1,000 chance you'll even make it in. Obviously, referees can make mistakes, but when you think about it, having a go at them is kind of like slating a brain surgeon.
This is Kickoff on talkSPORT, and you're in the company of Natalie Sawyer, Kevin Hatchard and Mickey Gray as well. The sports bar will come after us. That is because we are in the midst of extra time, the second half of extra time, of course, involving Wales as well as the Republic of Ireland. We brought you a check-in on Wales against Bosnia-Herzegovina. It's time to bring you an update from the Republic of Ireland's game against Czechia in Prague. Mark Wilson.
Yeah, still Czechia 2, Republic of Ireland 2. We had that Thomas Souček volley that went close. Not too much from the Republic of Ireland, but they did bring on Adam Eder for Ogbenio. I thought had a really good game, playing a bit of a lone furrow up alongside Troy Parrott. But Adam Eder almost broke away from inside his own half. Had the passer been better, he would have been clean through on goal. And just feel the Republic is starting to come back into this after Czechia had a lot of the ball at the end of the normal 90 and at the start of extra time. But it's the Republic who are trying to get this done. We've had we've got 10 minutes remaining now of extra time. It's Czechia 2, Republic of Ireland 2.
And this is all about getting a place at the World Cup. And the latest episode of How to Win the World Cup is now live. Matt Ford and Alex Brooker speak to the former England skipper Stuart Pearce all about defenders ahead of this World Cup this coming Sunday and why having a strong defence will always be more important than having a strong attack. Here's Stuart on why winning 1-0 will always be sweeter than a 5-0 drubbing.
Nigel Clough's at Mansfield managing, so if they win 1-0 away, I'd rather win 1-0 than 5-0. You know what I mean? Because,
Why?
Because the home team think they've got a chance of getting something out of the game, and you keep it to 0. It's just so rewarding. If you're going to win at Manchester United away, chances are you're winning 1-0. You know, the really glory teams in their pomp, you ain't going to go and beat them 3 or 4. So you've got to beat them 1-0. To do that, you've got to keep a clean sheet. So every time he wins 1-0 away, you know what I mean? Brings a smile to my face, mate. You know what I mean? Drop him a text.
Like 1-0 was always the classic Arsenal score.
Yeah, it was. And that's like what a lot of Arsenal's success was built on just keeping clean sheets. And even Arteta, like when he came in, a lot of the players that he bought early on was defenders.
Mickey, obviously I'm going to come to you. Defenders Union, do you agree? It's all about defence rather than attack?
I'm not going to disagree with Stuart Pearce.
I don't think anyone wants to do that.
Absolutely. Look, I mean, players talk about contracts these days, Natty. It wasn't really a thing when I was playing, but you get a goal scoring bonus. You know, assists, I don't know if they didn't exist when I was playing. But clean sheets, goalkeepers, if they keep a clean sheet. And absolutely, your foundations are your back line, whether it's a back three or a back five or, you know, whatever system that you play in 4-2-3-1. First and foremost, managers will always say to you, let's keep a clean sheet. If you keep clean sheets, you win football matches. And I think it's been there for over the test of time. You know, how many times have we seen, and you talk about Arsenal, just to bring one up, we always win 1-0. That's what it's all about. You get your defence right, it gives yourself a real good chance of winning football matches.
You can tune into How to Win the World Cup wherever you get your podcast from and hear from the former England captain Stuart Pearce then and get his thoughts on the competition. Tempers seem to be flaring on the touchline.
Oh, I saw it, yeah.
Cardiff, with the two sets of benches sort of coming together.
Well, it was Craig Bellamy and Edin Dzeko. I'm not quite sure if they crossed paths at Man City. I think Craig might have left before Dzeko came to Man City. But I know how fiery Craig can be, put it that way.
Well, let's see if Lawrence Moore can bring us more on this one. Lawrence?
Absolute carnage going on here, Natalie, to be honest with you. But it all stemmed because Bosnia, they're trying to kill the tempo of the game. There's players dropping for a bit of treatment, stretching, you know, that sort of thing, calves going and all that kind of stuff. Well, in the end, the referee's got a little bit fed up with it. He's allowed Wales to take a quick throw-in. Bellamy was insisting his players should go and take a quick throw-in, and Dzeko took exception to that, charged down the line, went for Bellamy, was on the pitch at one point. Then the security staff got involved between those two. Then the Bosnian manager, Babovic, got involved. He's been booked. So, yeah, it is all going on, but we have a free kick for Bosnia in a really dangerous position, halfway inside the Wales half, so Wales got some defending to do here. 23 minutes gone in added on time. It's Wales 1, Bosnia 1.
Goodness me, we are edging ever closer to penalties then in these ties, and I've seen that you've already got your sheet ready.
Yeah, I have.
You're getting it ready, weren't you?
Yeah, got my lines written out for the penalties.
Oh, right. In the extra time period.
I think when you go, you get a feel. In the game, you get a feel, you think, right, are we on top? Wales are just trying to break through now. But yeah, you get a feel in the game, Natalie, as if you think, right, are we actually going to try and just get to penalties and take the risk? Because it is a risk. It's a massive risk, certainly when you know what's at stake as well. But if your side's in the ascendancy and you're playing very well and the players are saying to the manager, yeah, we've still got that little bit more energy, let us go and get this goal, then you go for it. There's no better feeling than scoring that goal in extra time.
Yeah.
One of the reasons Bosnia might be slowing it down is they know they have an exceptional penalty killer in goal in Nikola Vasil.
Oh, okay.
His record in Germany is absolutely exceptional. I think he saved 5 of the first 6 he faced as a Bundesliga goalkeeper.
Wow, not bad then.
5 out of 6.
Yeah.
I mean, when you think that the stats will tell you that a striker has got a 78% chance of scoring from a penalty, if he saved 5 out of 6, that tells you a lot. So even though he's not having the best of seasons in that particular part of goalkeeping, he's excellent.
And it's no surprise that Craig Bellamy wanted the ball back in play as quick as they were trying to do that throw. Because they, amongst European sides, did you know this? They are the number 1 side at winning the ball back within 5 seconds.
We talked about that in the press conference.
So they liked the quick turnovers.
Wanted
and all
everything
that.
to be quick. But it was interesting because he talked about that kind of willingness to win the ball back really quickly. But he didn't want the game to become chaotic. He didn't want them to lose control of it. So it's a really fine balance, that, because if a lot of your identity is about playing at speed and winning the ball back quickly, and you get the crowd involved and they want you to do everything quickly, it's quite hard to keep your composure then, isn't it, when the pressure's on?
Let's run through the score, shall we, from today and all of the other matches that have taken place. Kev, do you want to?
Yeah, well, Turkey went through. They were the first team to go through. They beat Romania by 1-0. Lovely goal it was too. Ferdi Kadiolu of Brighton, who was given a wonderful pass by Arda Güler. Wonderful ball over the top. Finished it really well. So that was 1-0. So they went through. They will visit Kosovo because Kosovo won a 7-goal thriller away at Slovakia. Twice behind Kosovo were but then Florent Muslia and Kreshnik Hayrizi gave them a 4-2 lead. David Strelets of Middlesbrough got a goal back deep in stoppage time to make that 4-3. So that's Kosovo against Turkey. It's going to be Sweden against Poland because Sweden won 3-1 against Ukraine in Valencia. Victor Gyökeres of Arsenal, of course, with a hat-trick in that one. And Poland turned it around. They were 1-0 down at home to Albania, but goals from Robert Lewandowski and Piotr Zielinski gave them a 2-1 win. Denmark beat North Macedonia 4-0 as well, so they cruise through. They're awaiting the winners of Czechia and Republic of Ireland.
Indeed. So that runs you through everything that's happened this evening. Of course, Wales and Bosnia-Herzegovina will host, whoever wins that one, Italy, after their 2-0 win over Northern Ireland as well. It's been eventful so far, and it looks as though we may well be heading to a penalty shootout in both of the ties that are still in extra time. Not to say that these teams have given up, because they're still playing and they're still going for it, but it does feel as though it's edging ever closer to a shootout. And we'll bring that to you on talkSPORT.
Will that result have put a little bit of a seed of doubt in the Arsenal players in terms of the Championship run-in?
You said will it give a bit of doubt for Arsenal now going into the league?
No, I don't think so. I actually think it could work in our favour, because you're seeing the amount of players that are being pulled out of their international teams. Sounds to me like Mikel's going, guys, I'm going to need you fit here. And if you're looking at the players that are not included, they're the players that are pretty much certified to play for their countries anyway. The likes of Gabriel, the likes of...
Are you okay with that, though? Players turning down their country?
Absolutely fine with it, mate. Right now, put it this way. If you do well for Arsenal, you're guaranteed to play for your nation anyway. So I think the only players that are not going to miss out on the opportunity are those that are on the fringes.
But as Savio Ancelotti and Gabriel's not turned up, do you not see that as turning you back on your country?
No, because the reality is he knows what's at stake over there. Ancelotti's a winner. You know, we have to start winning. It's actually going to be good for the national team once Arsenal start winning.
Does that result, though, on Sunday put doubt in your mind to win the Champions League? You know, like big one-off games, and Arsenal haven't showed up.
No, I don't see why it should. I mean, if I'm honest with you, I'm not even going to the next round of Champions League games. I'm not going to the Sporting games.
Why?
Because we should be beating those teams. We've got it in the bag.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Just like that?
Just like that. And you know what? That loss is going to help us, because now the attitude is, look, we have no choice but to win. There's a higher expectation now. We can look at the situation with the goalkeeper, and I've had time to reflect, right? Yeah. I was really upset on Sunday, you know, because you were messaging me, right? Really upset.
Yeah, sorry about that.
You're not sorry. But I look at that and I go, you know what? Now is the time now. You don't owe anyone anything, Mikel.
This is Kick-Off on talkSPORT, and you're currently in the company of Kevin Hatchard, Mickey Gray and Natalie Sawyer as we keep you across these World Cup playoffs with Wales and the Republic of Ireland in action right now, both in their respective matches in extra time. But there's been a delay in the game in Prague where the Republic of Ireland are taking on Czechia. Mark Wilson can bring us all the details.
Yeah, still Czechia 2, Republic of Ireland 2, but Sami Szmodics, who came on as a sub with 5 minutes left, I'm presuming with a view to him taking a penalty. Well, with within a minute of him coming on, he went down in a pretty heavy challenge. Looked like he got a bang on the head. There was a shot of him on the ground. Looked like he might have been possibly knocked out. Well, he has been stretchered off now. And an interesting one, because it's a QPR youngster, Harvey Vale, who's coming on. Now, Vale is a former England under-19 captain, won the Euros under-19s with England. He's making his debut here, and he's getting thrust into it. We're 90 seconds into a minimum of 4 added-on minutes. Might be a little bit longer than that as well. And it's still Czechia 2, Republic of Ireland 2.
OK, thank you, Mark. And we are into added-on time as well in the game at Cardiff, where it's Wales against Bosnia-Herzegovina. Lawrence Moore.
It's Wales 1, Bosnia-Herzegovina 1. Wales are pressing and pressing right now. Sorba Thomas has been causing havoc on the left-hand side, whipping in crosses. And moments ago, Liam Cullen just got in a real tangle with the Bosnian defence. The referee decided it wasn't a penalty. To the howls of derision from the Canton stand. But I was just remarking in terms of Dylan Lawler, 20 years old, played for Cardiff. It's his breakthrough season, only just turned 20. Been only playing League One football. He has looked incredible tonight. He's been a standout performer for Wales. He has a huge future ahead of him, this young man. But we are in the last couple of minutes of added on time at the end of extra time. And we are 1-1. We are heading to penalties very, very soon. It's Wales 1, Bosnia-Herzegovina 1.
Oh, goodness me. Lawrence, thank you very much. We are edging then ever closer to the nail-biting shootout, certainly in Cardiff and likewise perhaps in Prague as well. But that's Sami Szmodek's injury. Tell us, you saw the incident. What happened?
Yeah, it was Shalapek who's come on for the Czechia. And it was a coming together. He just kind of shoulder barged him, but he had a look to see where Szmodek was before he actually made the challenge, and he's caught him really high up. And then you could see his head was jerking a little bit, and Szmodek was down for about 3 or 4 minutes, and rightly so, was being stretched off. But I thought there'd be a lot more added on time from that, Natalie. I have to say, I think he was down for a long time. There's only 4 added minutes onto that game, isn't there?
Yeah, exactly. I think most people were thinking the same, that there'll be a lot more time still to go in extra time in Prague. 2-2 it is in that one. 1-1 it is then for Wales against Bosnia-Herzegovina. And it does feel as though it's heading to a penalty shootout. And the problem is, Mickey, you know what happens when a penalty shootout happens? We end up talking about you.
Yeah.
I do apologise.
I knew there was a reason I was here tonight.
It's just one of those things, just so apt that you're with us. And then
playing the long game.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, my goodness me.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, Lawrence Moore, quickly tell us what happened just then.
Wow, the ball came in from the left-hand side. Brennan Johnson at the back post, and his little header back across goal. It just couldn't fall for a red shirt, and it's away for a corner, which Wales have played short. And now Sorba Thomas goes at his defender again, cuts onto his right foot, and he has absolutely whipped one into the Canton stand, unfortunately for all Wales fans. And that is it. Dan James' goal on 51 minutes, Edin Dzeko's goal on 86 minutes. Nothing can separate these two sides. There are two very, very tired-looking sets of players trudging their way towards the touchline, getting themselves ready after all the drama, the touchline, angst between the two sets of benches. We are down to penalties in the Welsh capital, and it will all come down to what the players can do from 12 yards. Wales, of course, for Euro 2024, went out to Poland in this stadium. Dan James missing the vital penalty at the end of that game that saw Wales knocked out. They didn't make it to Germany. They hope to put that pain aside. We've talked this week to Ethan Ampadu. He said that they've been practicing penalties. They've been going through. They will be prepared. Well, they have to show that now. But what a game. It's been flowing. I heard what you were saying about the chaotic nature and the fine line you play between it. The second half of the second half with 1-0 up, Wales did not kill that game. They did not play. They still tried to play on that front foot. So, yeah, that thin dividing line that you guys were talking about with Craig Bellamy's style of football, they got it a little bit wrong in the second half there. But Well, anything could happen now. So, yeah, it's finished here in the Cardiff City Stadium. Wales 1, Bosnia-Herzegovina 1.
Yeah, and it's certainly now a night for heroes, a night for someone to write their name perhaps into the history books as well, with Italy awaiting the winners of this penalty shootout between Wales and Bosnia-Herzegovina. And it's also all over in Prague. Mark Wilson.
Yeah, we're going to penalties as well. Czechia 2, Republic of Ireland 2. The Republic led by 2-0 inside the opening 25 minutes. Troy Parrott from the spot after VAR deemed that Nathan Collins had been fouled. It was a soft one, but Parrott made no mistake from the spot. Another goal. He's 6 in the last 3. Then when Matej Kovar deflected a clearance into his own net, it was 2-0. The Republic looked pretty much in control, but they gave away a really silly penalty. Ryan Manning pulled back the shirt of Krejci shortly after that second goal went in. Patrick Schick made no mistake, and it was 2-1 at half-time. And Czechia really only forced one good save out of Keller in that second half. It was the Republic that had the better chances. Malumbi hit the woodwork from the edge of the D, and also there was a good chance for Parrott, his effort, well saved. But right at the end, 5 minutes to the normal, 90 remaining, a free kick down by the corner flag, whipped in. Ladislav Krejci, who was a threat all night from set pieces, managed to get a header on it, and he diverted it into the back of the Republic net, and it was 2-2. There weren't really any clear-cut chances in extra time. Just the one, probably the one, fell to Souček, who side-footed his volley well over the top. But we are going to the dreaded penalties. Winner of this one will take on Denmark at home on Tuesday night. But will it be the Republic or will it be Czechia? We're going to penalties.
So we are going to penalties, and Kevin Hatchard and Mickey Gray are going to be keeping right across this for you as well. Really interesting to see, certainly the cameras in the game in Prague were panning on the goalkeepers in this one. Caoimhin Keller, of course, for the Republic of Ireland, both receiving the information needed, no doubt, from their goalkeeping coaches as to who you might face, which way they might go, for example. And the coin tosses have been made as well. So we are approaching this shootout. Mickey Gray, I won't dwell on it too much, but tell us about the psychology of a penalty.
Well, it's probably different in this day and age, but I think, I didn't want to take one because I think if you're not in the top 5, you just don't want to take a penalty. Anybody says any different, they're completely lying. But that walk from halfway to the penalty spot is a long time. It's a silent walk. It gives you a lot of thinking time. And I just hope that... I'm going to cover the Wales one, by the way.
You're going to do Wales?
Yeah, the Wales players going up to the penalty spot. I hope they've got something in their mind.
Somebody who's looking very, very nervous is Pavel Nedved, who was a fantastic player for Czechia. He's now the technical director of the FA. So it was his decision to bring Miroslav Kobek, the coach who's in his 70s now, in for this game. So his reputation partially rests on this penalty shootout as well.
So, for this game then, for Wales, it will be Italy that will take on the winner of this one in the Cardiff City Stadium. And the carrot, really, for Wales is if they get through this one, that they'll play that tie at home. That is after Italy beat Northern Ireland by 2-0, with both of their goals coming in the second half. Sandro Tonali and Moises Keane getting the goals in that one in Bergamo. But we are moments away then from the first kick of the game. And you said, Mickey, you're going to cover Wales. You're doing the Republic of Ireland for us as well, Kevin. So... it's nervous times here, as you can well imagine, with both players getting ready to take their respective spot kicks. Oh,
wow.
That was the Wales game.
Yeah. Demirovic, he's missed hands on his head straight away, which is great for Carl Darlow. And this is what happens. He's gone across to his left-hand side. You talk about being great in goal. It's about now. Carl Darlow's made an incredible save. Hopefully he hasn't gone too early. I don't think he has. It's going to stand. What a save and what a start for Wales.
And Troy Parrott's just put away the opening penalty of the shootout in Prague. So Ireland 1-0 up. Troy Parrott, who had scored from the spot in the game itself, he's just put the Republic of Ireland in front, sent the goalkeeper the wrong way. So they're 1-0 up.
Okay, so Harry Wilson now is lining up to take the first penalty for Wales, Mickey.
Yeah, left foot. Well, what else did we expect? Super penalty from Harry Wilson. Kept it low, left foot, reverse if you like. What a penalty.
1-1 in Prague. Wolves' Ladislav Krejci, the captain who scored in the game itself. Kelleher went the right way, got his hand up, just couldn't touch the ball around the post, didn't get enough on it. Ladislav Krejci's made it 1-1 between Czechia and the Republic of Ireland.
Okay, they're pretty much taking these spot kicks at the same time, which is not making the job easy to keep right across it for you. But we are trying to do our best. Remember, Wales then 1 up after Bosnia missed their first penalty. They're taking their second right now, Mickey.
Yeah, Tabakovic is stepping up now with his right foot. Strange run up. But he slots it in the corner. They're off the mark now, but they did miss the first one, so Wales still have the advantage.
And Adamides just rattled home his penalty. Kovac went the right way, couldn't get to it. Lovely penalty just inside the post. He opened up his body, right foot, goalkeeper ever so close to it, couldn't quite get there. Ireland are 2-1 up.
Okay, don't forget the Sports Bar will follow us after these shootouts. But now, what is it? Thomas Souček is about to take a penalty for Czechia in the game in Prague. And Bosnia are up now to take their third one.
No, Mark Haaaaas.
Wales,
this is Mark Haaaaas now, Natalie.
You've
got that.
You're right, Wales, absolutely.
Oh, he's gone straight down the middle. The goalkeeper was kind of shuffled across to his left-hand side, but when doing that, Haaaaas has blasted the ball into the back of the net. It's been a perfect start so far for Wales.
Yeah, 2-1 they lead.
Lovely penalty from Tomasz Souček. No helicopter celebration this time, but lovely penalty. Sent his man the wrong way. Right-footed, just opened up his body. Lovely penalty. And Kelleher deceived by that one. 2-2.
Oh, right. Yeah, no mistakes in that one so far. Remember, Wales are 2-1 up after the earlier miss for Bosnia-Herzegovina.
Yeah, we've got, who's coming up here? Number 13, I think it is. Yeah, but they're going to have to keep scoring now, Natty, to keep pressure on Wales. And Carl Darlow already made one save.
Oh, it's a great penalty.
And he's came very close to making another save, but it has found the back of the net. Just trying to find out who the goal scorer is. Basic is, yeah.
Lovely finish.
Left foot, super finish.
Okay, the Republic of Ireland still waiting to take their third penalty.
Yeah, it's going to be Robbie Brady, who missed the qualifiers with injury but brought back for this one. And he's got the chance to put the Republic 3-2 up. Kovac just dancing around on his goal line. Brady's going to take this left-footed little stutter. Lovely penalty. Sent Kovac the wrong way. And the Republic of Ireland 3-2 up. Nobody has missed in Prague yet.
We're now Brennan Johnson.
Yeah,
in action for
Brennan
Wales.
Johnson, that little shuffle across to the left-hand side. Oh, he skied it. No, that is not what Wales needed from Brennan Johnson there. He looked quite confident, I have to say, in his run-up, but he's completely missed the target altogether and skied it very, very high over the top of the crossbar. We're on level terms now at 2-2.
Heartbreak then for Brennan Johnson, but still all to play for in that game.
And saved by Kelleher. Moimir Keatil's penalty low to the goalkeeper's right. And the Brentford keeper guessed the right way. Renowned as a penalty stopper. And he has kept that one out, which means it's advantage Republic of Ireland. They are 3-2 up after 3 penalties each.
Okay. Oh, goodness. I thought he'd missed that one in Cardiff. The Bosnia-Herzegovina player. Who was that?
Yeah, we're just having a look now. I'll give you the name. There's that many of them. Hadzia Hadmetovic has just fired the ball into the top left-hand corner there, Natalie. So Bosnia now have a 3-2 lead against Wales.
Goodness me. It is all go in this one.
And saved.
Oh, no.
Finn Azaz has just had his penalty saved by Kovac. Went the right way. And it means that Czechia are going to have the chance to level it at 3-3. Finn Azaz, the first Irish player to miss. It was a pretty tame spot kick. Good height. Kovac went to his left and made the stop.
Oh, gosh, what happened?
Oh, well, Wales have missed again, and it's Nico Williams who's missed it. He stepped up with his right foot, and he's tried to play it to the left-hand side. It's a good height for the goalkeeper, Vasilic, and he just makes a simple save. He doesn't really have to stretch for it. That's a bit of a nightmare, isn't it, for Nico Williams and Wales?
Well, let's take you to Cardiff and hear from Lawrence Mora.
Yeah, where Wales are on the verge of going out. Bosnia Herzegovina, they have this penalty to win it. In front of the family stand who are there, waving. Bosnia step up, left-footed, and he's trying to sit into the back of the net, sends Cardalo the wrong way. Wales World Cup dream is over. The 2,000 or so Bosnian fans in the corner go wild. The players race to the corner to celebrate with their fans. Wales players are in a huddle on the halfway line. Some of them on their haunches. Harry Wilson just looking into space. He cannot believe it. He tucked away his penalty, but misses by Brennan Johnson and by Nico Williams, two of Wales' biggest performers on the biggest stage, have meant that they've lost 4-2 in a penalty shootout. Dan James had given them the lead on 51 minutes. Edin Dzeko heading in the equaliser on 86 minutes. Nothing could separate the teams, but a 4-2 penalty shootout win, despite Cardalo saving the very first Bosnian penalty, means the Wales World Cup dream is over. Craig Bellamy will not take Wales to a major tournament in his first qualifying campaign. There's heartache in the Cardiff City Stadium. Cheers from the fans are standing around. They're just looking numb. They lost a penalty shootout to Poland 2 years ago in the same stadium, in this same international window, which meant that they didn't go to Germany in 2024. Again, it's happened here. Bosnian celebrations, though, in the far corner. Incredible scenes over there. They've not been to a World Cup since 2014, and they are on the verge. They will have the home tie against Italy on Tuesday. And Wales will face Northern Ireland in possibly one of the saddest games that will ever take place in the history of football, that I'll have to sit through on Tuesday. And it's a sold-out stadium because everyone bought 2 tickets. So what we see on Tuesday, I don't know. But Craig Bellamy has his players in a huddle in the middle of the pitch, consoling words to them at the moment, talking them through it. Nico Williams looks absolutely desolate. His penalty miss was the crucial one at the end, but yeah, it wasn't to be for Wales. On a night that they gave everything, it wasn't quite enough. It's finished Wales 1, Bosnia 1, but Bosnia winning 4-2 on penalties.
Lawrence, disappointment in the end then for Wales, and it's now all over in Prague. But who won the shootout? Mark Wilson.
It's Czechia that will take on Denmark on Tuesday night. They've beaten the Republic of Ireland by 4 penalties to 3 after it ended 2-2 in after extra time. The Republic, remember, led 2-0. Parrott from the penalty spot, and a Kovac own goal gave the Republic a 2-0 lead. But a moment of madness really from Ryan Manning, gave away an unnecessary free kick. Patrick Schick tucked it away. It was 2-1, and when Croatia equalised late in the piece, it just felt destined to go all the way to penalties. Parrott, Ida and Brady all scored for the Republic, who led 3-2 after Kelleher saved Chittil's penalty. But crucially, Finn Azaz next up for the Republic. He missed. His penalty was saved, as was Alan Brown's at the end, meaning that Schick and Clement, their converted spot kicks, send Czechia through to take on Denmark. Heartbreak for the Republic of Ireland. Feels like, though, they've only got themselves to blame tonight. They threw it away, having led 2-0 early on. But their World Cup dream is over, and their wait for a World Cup appearance will go on. It's Czechia who are through on penalties. Have beaten the Republic of Ireland by 4 penalties to 3.
Oh, on a night where you hoped at least one home nation would give themselves a chance of getting to the World Cup by getting to the playoff final, it has ended in massive disappointment. Northern Ireland bowing out after their 2-0 defeat to Italy earlier on. And as you've just heard, Wales and the Republic of Ireland also losing on a penalty shootout in their respective matches as well. And a quick word from both of you, Kevin and Mickey, because especially the latter two that I just mentioned, they both took the lead in their respective games.
Yeah, and I think the brutal thing is that's not a great Czech team. I think it's a Czech team that hasn't played well in these qualifiers. Let's not forget, a few months ago, they lost at the Faroe Islands and had to change their coach. They've brought in Miroslav Kobek. It was his first game. And that moment, giving away the penalty, you don't want to load it all on one player, and we shouldn't load it on all on one player. But at this level, mistakes like that count. And, you know, if it had gone on longer at 2-0, that Czechia crowd would have turned, I think. But they found that goal. They found that momentum. They took their penalties very well. Sheetil obviously had his saved, but Schick and Clement did very, very well to put theirs away. So that's a really tough one to take, because if you'd have said to Republic of Ireland fans, you're going to need to beat Portugal at home and win in Budapest against Hungary, they wouldn't have thought you'd be able to do it. But those back-to-back wins gave them the platform. It's just a real shame they haven't quite been able to get over the line.
Yeah. That's what's going to haunt them, isn't it, for a little while? That they and with Wales as well, because as I mentioned, they both took the lead in their games and they weren't able to hold out, especially when you look at Bosnia scoring in the 87th minute to equalise, to force that extra time, and also there was a late equaliser for Czechia as well.
Yeah, not a nice night, is it, for the home nations, I have to say. Just a quick one on the penalties, and I don't know if this has happened before. The 4 substitutes that came on for Bosnia took penalties, and they all scored. The player who was playing missed. Ironic, I don't know, but tired legs, going up to step up to take a penalty after so long. And maybe there's something in that, I don't know. But yeah, shame.
Oh, it has ended in huge disappointment. No doubt the sports bar will be ready to take your calls if you want to vent and have your say on the results this evening. But quickly, to run you through what it all means. Bosnia will host Italy on Tuesday in the final. Sweden will take on Poland. That is, of course, Graham Potter's Sweden. Kosovo, incredible journey that they are having. They'll be at home to Turkey. And Czechia will take on Denmark, no doubt, in Prague as well. So that wraps things up with regards to the playoffs that are coming your way on Tuesday, where Adrian Durham and the team will keep you up to date with those, no doubt. Kevin and Mickey, it's been a pleasure. Thank you very much for your company. As I say, the sports bar is coming your way next. You can give them a call right now, 03717 223344.
This season, the recruitment's not worked. They tried to replace Isak with 2 strikers, Visser and Voltamada, who've both struggled. I actually think Visser is better than people give him credit for. He just needs a good run. Ilanga doesn't play well often enough, flat to deceive. So who was in charge of recruitment? Who did that? There's a question. The other big problem they've got, and where Eddie's problem, I like Eddie a lot, me watching Newcastle as long as I have this season, and they're a great watch generally because they go after teams, play high energy. But their second half performances and results in a league table, they'd be 16th. And that's because they're not adaptable. They're trying to mix a European campaign and a Premier League campaign.
Yeah.
Playing this 100 miles an hour. Now, you need a supreme squad of athletes to play that way. I don't see often enough Newcastle go, today we're going to go, let's be a bit more pragmatic. And it's great at home. It works sometimes.
Isn't it a constant trend for Newcastle? Every time they qualify for a Champions League season,
to struggle a bit.
They struggle in the rest of the season. Yeah. I think the first season when they qualify for the Champions League,
That's my point, because of the style.
So it is a Champions League situation. It's a squad situation.
Amount of games, yeah.
And also, at the beginning of the season, Newcastle were very poor away from home. Yeah. They weren't able to get any points in the first sort of 5, 6, 7, 8 games in terms of or score any goals. And that may play in some of it.
And of course, it might get worse before it gets better, because if there's no European football for Newcastle United, it might be goodbye to some of the big names. Bruno Guimaraes, Sandro Tonali, to name but 2.
Good evening and welcome to the Sports Bar and Talk Sport. I'm Jamie Haaaaas, and alongside me this evening, the Welsh legend, Dean Saunders. Unbelievable night. Terrible night. Penalty heartbreak in Ireland and Wales. Wales beaten by Bosnia. Proper game of football. End to end, though, did Craig Bellamy. Just too open. His team made it a basketball match. Ireland fumbled a 2-0 lead out in Prague. Their fairy tale is over. And Northern Ireland, they limped out a tough game against Italy. Elsewhere, Dino's going to have a dig at Mo Salah, but big night of international football. 3 of the home nations are out. Wow. Scotland are there. England are there. 03 717 22 33 44. Right, Dino.
I'd like, no, not really. After that, no, sickener. It's never nice going out on penalties because it could happen to either team, and you've got a couple of players. Last time it was Dan James. This time, Brennan Johnson, Nico Williams. They'll be gutted, and we're out. You know, we got a reprieve winning the Nations League, and we got these 2 games. Obviously, we would have played Italy, who beat Northern Ireland. But we're out now, so
gutted though, mate. At home,
yeah.
You know, you should have won that game, Dean.
We should have.
Should have won that game.
Yeah.
You had chances to put it to bed.
Yeah, if we just when you look now, you have to analyse what's happened. And this is no disrespect to Mark Harris because he's a decent player, but he scored 2 goals this season, and he's our centre forward. Kiefer Moore's injured. And he's playing in the Championship. And Sorba Thomas come on there and done unbelievably well in extra time.
Yeah, he did.
He must have put 10 crosses in. Yeah. And we've not got on the end of one of them. Brennan Johnson got on the end of one right at the end and decided to head it back across the goal when he probably could have headed it in. And the game did turn into a basketball match. And fair play, going forward, we played well, I thought.
Done all right. Yeah,
but on that, when you've got Dan James, Brennan Johnson, Harry Wilson and David Brooks on the pitch, don't expect them to be sprinting back when we lose it. Because they try their best. They were trying to get back, but they're attack-minded players. We were 1-0 up, quarter of an hour to go, and we allowed it, like you said earlier, we did allow it to go into a basketball match. They missed 3 open goals.
Oh, they did have some good chances.
We've hit the bar twice in the first half. Harry Wilson's hit the bar, great effort, and Dan James is hit the bar, scored a great goal.
Where's the keeper going for the goal, though, Dzeko? I mean, that's the one. That's the one that kills you.
But there
it's
again,
in no man's land.
There again, Nico Williams is marking Dzeko. He's there. He scored 6 goals in the qualifying campaign now. Has he scored 400 goals in his career? Something like that.
Yeah.
He's 40 years of age. They get a corner, and I'm just thinking, where is he? Who's marking him? Nico Williams has got bullied by him for the goal, and Darlow's come for it and not got there. But Dzeko knows how to score. He's got his head on it, 6'5", and he's got him through, hasn't he? Really?
Yeah. Well, yeah, kept him in the game.
And then you make substitutions, and obviously some of you better players are on the bench when you're in injury time. So sickener, but we got to learn from it. Craig will learn from that. But when you look at, has he got the tools?
Well, I think he's shown it.
You can't buy players at international level.
No.
Do
you think there's a lack of quality?
We haven't got any strikers. Think about it. Name a Welsh striker. Can you name a Welsh striker?
Well, Kiefer Moore.
That's it. We've got Mark Harris, Kiefer Moore. Brennan can play up there, but he's not an out-and-out striker. And in front of the goal...
Do you think Brennan Johnson, maybe Craig Bellamy... Look, when the lad come on, is it Geraint Thomas? Is it the lad that come on?
Sober Thomas,
sorry. I mean, when I'm watching him, I'm going, how's he not started? He was fantastic.
He looked brilliant, yeah.
You know, could he have played Brennan Johnson up front, but...
he could have put Brennan down the middle, and I have to say, Sober Thomas, if he cut inside in the right on the final whistle, he cut inside, and I thought, go on, top corner. If that goes in, it's one of the greatest ever substitute performances.
Yeah.
If he scores that goal.
Yeah.
Because he terrorised the right back. Going forward, we look good, but we're wide open at the back, and Joe Rodon let 2 balls go across him. Their centre forward who missed the pen, He missed 2 open goals as well. The game was too. It's a playoff match. Both teams are trying to win it.
Mm-hmm.
There wasn't a team sitting back trying not to win it. So, 1-1 was probably a fair result, and we get done on the penalties.
Craig Bellamy is going to be crestfallen.
Yeah, but he's, fair play to Craig. He's sat him out to go for it. He said to him, like, keep the pressure up. They took all the throw-ins quick. They took free kicks quick. They thought they were fitter and they could last longer and more energetic. More. We got some athletes in the team. But in front of the goal where it counts, when, like, you were a manager for a bit of Billericay.
Yeah,
right?
go on.
Honestly, I managed 5 football teams. The people who are good in that box cost money, and the people who are good in the other box cost money. The players in the middle, you can get them anywhere. You can. So the people who finish chances off at that end and get it right and are lethal. You play Belgium. We played Belgium, and you got Doku, De Bruyne, and they cut you up and score. It ends up in the back of the net. And the lower down you go, they miss.
Yeah.
They get the pass wrong.
Yeah.
They don't pick people out in the box. The top players cut you to ribbons on the break. And both teams miss loads of chances.
Yeah, definitely tonight. Just on Ireland as well, gutted for all the Irish out there. They were 2-0 up and threw it away. Because, look, it's a tough place to go. I get that. You're away from home. They go out on penalties, but you're 2-0 up. And you're like, come on, lads.
Well, yeah.
You get enough bodies in the box. I was watching, we had both games on. I'm watching it. Ireland in good possession. Get the ball in the box. Get bodies in the box. Make things happen. It was too many times in the extra time and towards the end of the game. Just sideways. Put the ball in the box. Get some bodies in there. That's their game.
Well, I was trying to watch the Wales game, but obviously we had one eye on the Republic of Ireland game, but they were 2-0 up. They'll be gutted because Kelleher is really good at saving penalties.
Yeah, well, he saved one.
He saved one. And they're out as well. So it's a bit of a sickener because Scotland and England are there. I like watching the World Cup when everyone's there. So every day.
Yeah.
Well, Scotland are playing tomorrow.
Yeah.
Wales are playing the next day.
No, I wanted
England
them there.
Are playing the next day.
Yeah.
And
it's good to have. You want the home nations there. I've always said that. You want the home nations there because it builds, kind of an energy over here, right? With everyone in the United Kingdom, right? And plus Ireland. You want them there. 3 of them are out. 3 of them are gone. And this is the biggest World Cup in terms of the amount of teams that they've put in it ever. And 3 of the home nations are not in it.
You've got to look at, going back to the Wales-Bosnia game, right? You've got to look at, from their point of view, Bosnia. They were 13 minutes away from qualifying automatically from the World Cup, so they were gutted. They end up in the playoffs. They've had 7 playoff games and lost, I think they've lost 4 and drawn 3. And they've got through this time. So well done to them. Well done to them. They won on a penalty shootout. Say they're not there yet.
Yeah, they're not there yet.
They've got to play Italy, who won 2-0 tonight against Northern Ireland.
Yeah.
So they'll be gutted as well. So there's 3 teams out. Sick now. What we're looking forward to now? England, Uruguay.
Killed you, Dino. All that work you was going to get. About 30 grand.
I had it all lined up. I was going to the World Cup. I'm not now. So
Absolute stinker.
In fact, I had a chance of playing.
I reckon you would have put one
Watching the game tonight, I've got a chance, yeah.
Let's go to Danny. He's an Ireland supporter. Dan?
Hi, Dan.
Oh, he's just gone.
Well,
what's happening now?
I was going to say to him, you can't be more gutted than I am.
Well, let's go to Steve. He's a Wales fan. Steve.
Hi, Steve.
Hi, hello there.
Steve, how you feeling?
I'm Dean. I think I'm a little bit more gutted than you are, mate.
Was you at the game?
I wasn't. No, I'm going Monday actually, but absolutely devastated.
What do you mean you're going? What do you mean you're going Monday?
To the Northern Ireland game or Tuesday, is it?
What do you mean you're out?
No, we're out. There is no game.
Steve, there's no game, mate.
We're still going to play Monday, and we're still going to play the.
No,
Steve, it's over.
Steve, you're letting the country down.
Yeah.
Steve, it's over.
Yeah,
You're out. You're gone. There's no game.
We're out. Oh, so, yeah. Hey, anyway, Steve, you watched the game, did he?
I did, yeah.
What do you think?
A heartbreaking for a start. Absolutely devastated with the result. I think, as you said, we were way too open at the back.
Steve, turn your radio off. He's gone. Honestly,
has he gone?
Yeah, he's gone. He's gone.
He thought it was. I think he thought it was the way back in. Playing Italy on Monday. The game's not even on Monday, is it?
No, it was on Tuesday.
Tuesday.
I don't know what game he's going to. Maybe is there an
He's
under
seen the
21
fixture
game or
list
something?
somewhere,
Is there something going on? Maybe there's another game, but we'll try and find out. But they'll have another game, right? They have another game. You still play another game. It's just a friendly. Yeah. All right. Devastated. Yeah. Let's go back to Danny. He's phoned us back. All right, Dan.
Hi, Dan.
Hello there. How are we, lads?
Dan, how you feeling, mate? Ireland are gone.
Absolutely gutted.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we've got you, mate. Yeah.
Yeah. To be 2-0 up and to lose like that, it's heartbreaking, but especially on penalties.
Yeah, I mean, look, penalties is always the worst way to go, right? It's horrible. It is an horrible way. But you're 2-0 up, Ireland, and you can see the goal straight after you scored the second, and it's like, what you're doing, you allowed them back in it. But I thought, look, we were watching both games. I thought Ireland done all right, but there was just a lack. The problem that Ireland and Wales have got, and you can't get away from it, it's just that lack of quality.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think there weren't a plan in place to go 2-0 up. I think once we went 2-0 up, it was kind of panicking. We were panicking. And the penalty we gave away, it was soft as hell. And, yeah, I feel like we were panicking after that. And then after that, it was,
I didn't think that was a pen. Did you? You thought it was a pen, Jamie, didn't you?
I do think it was a pen, but it was the ball was going out of play. And yeah, it's soft, very soft, but...
Anyway, I mean, you got a dilemma. The manager's got a dilemma there. 2-0 up, what you do, right? This is where you earn your money. You look and you think, you got to have a sense of what's going on.
Do you park the bus?
Pitch. You either park the bus and do what Arsenal do and get everyone behind the ball, get your two centre forwards or one back behind the ball, and you just counter-attack, or... you carry on what you're doing and say, right, let's try and get 3, game over. And if you don't win, you get criticised for sitting back. And if you don't shut the back door, you get criticised for that. So,
Dan, what did you say there, Dan?
I think we were quite happy to defend there when we had the lead 2-1, and we weren't expecting to concede to make it 2-2. And then it was kind of like, we need to score another goal now. And I couldn't see us score another goal. We looked very weak, and we didn't look like we were threatening much.
It felt like in extra time you just run out of gas. It felt like because you had decent possession in extra time. You had a lot of the ball, but you just didn't feel like you're just making anything really happen.
Yeah, very
just
true.
running, and you're just running the risk. Penalties, it's a gamble. It's just a gamble.
Yeah, no, it's very true. The players, they look knackered. They ran their hearts out, but I just. Yeah, didn't have the quality to go over the line.
No, it was never going to be an easy game, was it?
No, that's a tough game, of course. No,
a tough game.
Tough game. And
I would say ours was the easier games, Wales, Bosnia.
Yeah, well, yours was the easiest game, and you lost.
Yeah, and we're out.
You're gone.
So, well, whether we were to beat Italy, I looked at the Italy lineup tonight.
They got some serious
players. They got some proper players playing, and they're not as good as they were, but they've got players who we all recognise.
Yeah.
Tonali scored tonight as well.
Yeah. That would have been a tough game, but you're at home. You had 2 home games, Dean.
Yeah.
2 home games.
Crowd behind us. Hey, by the way, we're out now. We got to have a look at the under-21s.
What do you mean?
We got to look and start building for the Euros now. And so, who's in the under-21 team? You can't buy players, as I said. You've got to bring them through. Somehow we've got to get Craig will put them in the team. And we'll find out if they're good enough.
I'm gutted for Craig because I like what he's done with this nation team. You know, I think he's come in. You know, he's had to move on from Gareth Bale, and you know this team that he's put together, it ain't full of world class players. They haven't got a Gareth Bale, but you've got some really good players. But the way you have played throughout that competition, the qualifiers, I thought Wales were really good. I'm actually gutted for him because I know how much that meant to him, and I know how much it meant to everyone in Wales, but. Tonight, I just felt like there was it looked, and you were right, when you ain't got a top striker, when you ain't got someone who's just going to do a Dzeko for you, You're relying on Dan James and Brennan Johnson, Harry Wilson. Harry Wilson, to be fair, had a couple of chances he maybe could have done better with, but you need a top striker.
Well, when you watch Real Madrid and you watch PSG play, and they break on you, they're like clinical, aren't they? With their passes, with their finishing, with their crossing.
Yeah, they hurt you.
And they all know how to score and put the ball in the back of the net, and that's why they cost so much money, the players. We've got David Brooks, we've got Brennan Johnson, Dan James, and Harry Wilson. They're not out-and-out strikers.
No.
And then Mark Harris was with Kiefer Moore being injured, we got Mark Harris in there, and it's not his fault. But when I was playing, we had Ian Rush, Mark Hughes, Craig Bellamy, John Hartson, Gareth Taylor, Malcolm Allen,
and you.
Ian Walsh, Alan Curtis before that, Toshak. We've always had strikers.
But now you haven't.
No, none of the nations have.
Well, England have. We've got Harry Kane. Right, get your calls in if you want to have your say on a terrible night for the home nations. 03 717 22 3344.
It's understood that Chelsea do not plan to review Rosenior's performance formally before the summer of 2027. They have no intention of making a change at the end of the season. Chelsea view this summer as being critical in terms of recruitment. The club's desperate to improve the mental resilience of the squad and provide Rosenior with a better balance of options. Chelsea will look to sign at least one new central defender, and they want to sign a midfielder or add a midfielder and a forward as well. We know all that, Danny, but we also know a run of one win in the last 6 Premier League games. Many Chelsea fans are far from happy about the way things are going. So, Simon, Danny, I mean, no Champions League, no problem for Liam Rosenior, it seems. Should we believe it?
No, I struggle to believe that wholeheartedly. I think no Champions League for Chelsea would be a failure for them, especially if there's 5 places. And I think that the fans will become very disgruntled if that's the case. I do feel like whoever was in there, whoever was put in there would face similar problems. If you look at what we've talked about many times, the squad being so young, you see the amount of sendings off they have, the ill discipline, the extremes of performance, brilliant one week, poor the next. That's hard for anyone to go in there and get better consistency with the dynamic of the squad.
Shin pads are a footballer's best friend, even if players like Jack Grealish do wear such small ones you can barely even see them. But what's the story with shin pads, and are there any rules on how big they should be? It all started with cricket, actually. Cricketers had been wearing shin pads since the 1700s. They'd been introduced not for leg protection, but instead to give batters a strategic advantage. The idea was that batters could put their leg pads in front of the wicket if they missed the ball, preventing them from being bowled out. Obviously, that all changed when the LBW rule came in, but that was the theory behind them. It was thanks to this guy that shin protection made its way over to football. Meet Samuel Widdowson. He was a cricketer and a footballer. He played for Nottingham Forest back in the late 1800s, and he wanted a way to protect his legs from nasty tackles. Apparently, he'd broken his leg in a match against Sheffield United in 1874 and wanted to stop it from happening again. Naturally, his mind drifted to his other favourite sport, where players had been wearing these pads. Story goes, Widdowson cut up his cricket pads, sewed them into his socks and popped them on before taking to the footy pitch. Ta-da! Shin pads. Like all great genius inventors, everyone took the mickey at first. To be fair, he probably looked quite stupid running around with these on. But it's thought his whole Nottingham Forest team then began wearing them from 1887, and the first known use of them in a match was in 1894, in a match between Newcastle and the then Woolwich Arsenal. Eventually, FIFA clocked on that this protection was pretty important for footballers. Multiple studies have shown wearing shin pads clearly reduces the risk of players getting lower leg injuries. And so in 1990, basically 100 years after Widdowson first put them on, shin pads were made compulsory. It became a part of Law 4 of IFAB. That's the body responsible for setting the laws of the game internationally. But the law doesn't actually specify anything about measurements of shin pads. It just says pads must be made of a suitable material and be of an appropriate size to provide reasonable protection. It's really vague, and players can get away with a lot. A lot of grassroots clubs are choosing to ban micro shin pads for obvious reasons, though, especially after a 15-year-old player from Penistone
You are listening to the Sports Bar on talkSPORT. Me, Jamie Hara and Dean Saunders. Still to come, we're going to look ahead to England's game against Uruguay tomorrow. We'll hear from Jurgen Klopp as well. He's been speaking about Mo Salah. But first, huge night of international football, and it was heartbreak all around.
We are going to the dreaded penalties. Winner of this one will take on Denmark at home on Tuesday night. But will it be the Republic or will it be Czechia? We're going to penalties.
And it will all come down to what the players can do from 12 yards. Anything could happen now. So, yeah, it's finished here in the Cardiff City Stadium. Wales 1, Bosnia-Herzegovina 1.
World Cup dream is over, and their wait for a World Cup appearance will go on. It's Czechia who are through on penalties. Have beaten the Republic of Ireland by 4 penalties to 3.
Bosnia step up, left-footed, and he's trying to sit into the back of the net. Sends Carl Darlow the wrong way. Wales World Cup dream is over.
That's harsh. That's harsh.
Get that crying baby off.
I've got nothing to do with that. I had nothing to do with that.
You are?
I had nothing to do with that.
You know, because if you say one word...
Go on. What? What?
I'm going to give you put your caps on the table.
Oh, it's a bad night. Look, you got to expect it on a sports bar. You got to expect it, you know.
Yes,
it's a brutal show.
Oh, you got to take it.
Well, you know, I feel for Wales. I feel for Ireland. I feel for Northern Ireland. I really do. But, you know, it is what it is. You're not there. Let's go to Gary, who is a Wales fan. Gary.
Hi, Gary.
How's it going, Dino, bye?
Not bad. Where are you from? Let me guess. Are you from Merthyr? Merthyr
No,
Tydfil.
it's very close. Very, very, very close.
Go on.
Who cares, Gal? What happened?
Abel Vale.
Gal, what happened?
Close, yeah. What do you think?
Well, I just thought at the end of the day, you know, we got so many players which end in the Premier League. So, what do you expect? Like sometimes, like.
Yeah, well, you know, looking at it tonight, we had 62% possession. They had 38. They had 5 shots on target. We only had 3, even though, you know, we hit the bar twice, but not lethal enough. You know,
it's just not good enough, is it? At the end of the day, you know, you got all these players as well, like, but you know, we haven't got a lot to pick from, and then, you know, we
should have gone through, though,
like,
Gary. I'm sorry. should have gone through. You had the easiest game out of all of them.
Yeah, we should have gone through, obviously, aye. But, we're relying on championship players half of the time, like.
Well, Harry Wilson ain't a championship.
You can't swear live on the radio. We've had to dump that. He thought he was in the pub then having a chat with his mates.
I'll tell you who has phoned us up. Muzz. He's a Bosnia fan. All right, Muzz.
Hi, Muzz. Well done. Congratulations.
Thank you.
How are you feeling?
Can you hear me? I'm feeling great, mate. Honestly, feeling absolutely great. Yeah, we've been playing, we had a couple of injuries as well. We never, Wales have never beaten us. We got a tough draw against Italy, but at least we're playing at home. Dzeko's 40, still banging him in. Feeling over the moon, mate. Absolutely over the moon.
Yeah. I mean, fair play to Dzeko. 40 years old, steps up, 85th minute. He's still got so much quality to offer. He obviously runs out of legs, but to have him in your side still, that's the difference. That's the difference.
Exactly. It's just one man, one striker can make good difference. Hell of a difference. He's been around for a long time. He knows what he's doing in that box. Definitely.
Yeah.
We had hard game tonight. Fair play to Wales. They had a couple of good chances. We had a couple of good chances. Great save from a keeper as well.
Oh, it was unbelievable.
From Demirovic, out of this world, really was. But looking forward to the next one and of the Bosnians.
Well, yeah, you've had a lot of heartache, haven't you? You've had a lot. So congratulations for getting through, because as fans, you've seen the team just. Is it 7 playoff games?
Congratulations. What do you mean?
Well, because they've had 7.
Hold on a minute.
They've had 7. We done it with Wales. We didn't qualify.
You're Welsh.
Missed out.
You've just got knocked out.
Yeah, but if you're going to get knocked out, at least Bosnia have had the same problems as us, and eventually they've won a game there where they've lost. Is it 7 playoff games you've lost? Or no, you've lost 4 and drawn 3.
That's it, yeah. But we've lost so many playoffs in the past, sort of thing. It's heartbreaking, absolutely heartbreaking. The only major championship we qualified was 2014 in Brazil, where Dzeko was at his peak. He was brilliant.
What about the young 18-year-old that come on? He's a player, isn't he?
He looks all right.
Oh yeah, he's brilliant. Left winger.
Yeah.
Begovic is absolutely brilliant. We've got a couple of the right winger is well. He plays in the United States. He's also brilliant. So we got Bud is our coach is trying to rebuild the team. Obviously all the old players are nearly gone. So he's still rebuilding process, but we're on the right track, and long may continue.
We've got Italy in the next game. How do you fancy your chances against them?
Well, I tell you what, Italy is not what it used to be.
No.
My mate is Italian, and obviously I was watching Bosnian game. He was watching Italian game, and he was saying they weren't that great. Couple of goals, which weren't all that. So we got a pretty good chance. Plus we're playing at home. That place is going to be rocking, mate. I'm telling you, that is going to be absolutely rocking.
Yeah.
You'll see ultras tonight. We had about 3,000-4,000 there.
Yeah, they did.
Unfortunately, I couldn't go. My boy went there, and he was sending me a couple of videos and stuff. Atmosphere is great. So hopefully spring on Tuesday. We did play extra 30 minutes. That might play a part. We had a couple of injuries, but we'll see what happens. But very optimistic.
Yeah. Well done.
Yeah, no, fair play to them. They made it through. Wales fans are going to be absolutely crestfallen tonight. Gutted for them. Gutted for Ireland as well. I want to hear from some Ireland fans, Northern Ireland as well. They had a really good campaign to get to the playoffs. But
I was picking my seat on the plane, before the game.
Was you?
Yeah, 1A. I was thinking of sitting
1A? Yeah, you was quids in, mate.
Oh,
Dino was quids in.
Yeah.
Wales in the World
Do
Cup.
you know what, though? It's like the cup final last week, Man City, Arsenal. When you get to playoff games like this, cup finals, it's break of the ball on the day. Who turns up on the day? What players? Like Arsenal, second half last week.
Yeah.
Who would have predicted that performance from them? second half.
I would have.
And then your best players turn up on the night. Dan James, great goal he scored, by the way. Keeper slipped, but it's a great early strike.
Yeah.
And Darlow's made a brilliant save. Their keeper's made a few great saves. End-to-end game. And break of the ball.
Fine margins, mate. Penalties, horrible. It's an horrible way. Especially like something so big as well, like a World Cup.
Yeah.
It's almost unbearable.
You feel like not going to pens.
Yeah, it's just horrible.
You
just feel like you should play the game again.
Well, Dan James and the two lads who missed tonight, they'll never forget that.
No. I said to you, though, Brennan Johnson, mate. I said to you.
He's hit it over the bar, hasn't he, Brennan? He's not had the best of seasons, actually.
Yeah, he's had a poor season,
now.
lacking a bit of quality. I said, if Brennan Johnson takes a pen, I said, he don't look comfortable. He steps up.
But some people, Jamie,
Listen,
when
I've been there. I've missed
in that huddle, they look the other way. When the managers go, who wants to take a pen, they look the other way. So
no, if you step up in that moment,
yeah,
you know, if you miss, you've had the balls to step up, so you can't take anything away from it. It's just, but yeah, I've missed the penalty in a cup final. It is the worst feeling.
Ireland,
it never ever leaves you. It never leaves you.
They lost. Did they miss 3? Didn't they, or 2? Republic.
They missed. I think they missed the last 2.
I think they missed 3. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it was a nightmare for them. They're gutted as well. Get your calls in. Loads to go at. If you're an Ireland fan, you're a Wales fan. You can give us a call. Northern Ireland as well are out. England and Scotland are there though. Mo Salah will leave Liverpool on a free this summer. Here's a crazy stat for you. Mo Salah either scored or assisted 37% of the goals Liverpool scored in the last 9 seasons.
Yeah, he's, and I think it was Hugh Wisencroft that said there that the awakening of Liverpool was down to Klopp and Salah. Those two worked in such sync. Klopp made Salah the player that he is, or allowed him to be the player that he is.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at someone in North London who, I'm not comparing Saka to Salah, but if you put that Saka into a Klopp's team, you would see. So Salah's got more goals and assists than Saka.
What you're saying is Arteta's holding back Saka?
Oh, 100%. Liverpool fans, Arsenal fans know that. 100%. That's not up for debate, is it? I'm not opening up a debate here. I'm just stating the fact that Mo Salah's got more goals and assists this season in all comps than Saka.
Mm.
Now, if Klopp had Saka at the time that he was going through that brilliant time at Liverpool, you'd see a totally different Saka. Arteta's getting a different role out of him. There's no way Mohamed Salah would not be the player he is if he played under Arteta. Don't even go there with me.
Okay,
Don't have that argument because I'll fall out with you.
Okay, but I don't think Saka can do what Salah's done.
Well, no. But what I'm trying to get at is that Saka is being held back and doing a job in a different way in the same position.
Mm. listening to the Sports Bar and talkSPORT. Me, Jamie Hart, Dean Saunders. Want to hear from Liverpool fans about the thoughts on Mo Salah leaving. Dino's got a take on it. We'll have that chat. We'll talk about England as well. Terrible night, though, for the home nations. Ireland are out. Wales are out. And Northern Ireland are out as well. Terrible, terrible night. You can have your say on it. 03 717 22 33 44. Let's go to Andy. He's a Wales fan. All right, Andy.
Hi, Andy.
Hiya, how you doing, boys?
I'm all right, Andy. Was that the game?
Bad.
Yeah, just leaving the game now, just in the car, just listening to you guys.
How you feeling?
Obviously gutted, but I think it was just so obvious that the Bellamy's lost that game for us. Hey, we 85 minutes, Bosnia chucked 10 up front, Cabango's warming up for the last 10 minutes, and it's crying out for another centre half to go on the pitch.
Yeah. The goal you concede, is a shocker. It really is.
Oh,
it's just a ball into the box. Like the keeper's in no man's land. But how are you allowing Dzeko free header in the 85th minute?
Well, Nico Williams is marking him, right? He gets bullied by him.
Why is Nico Williams marking him? He's about 5'8".
I know, and then the keeper's come to try and punch it. He's not got there, so he'll get the blame for that. But you got to say, Dzeko, 6'5".
But even before that, Cullen's clearance, he's off. I know we haven't got much strength and depth on the bench, but he's put Cullen on. Cullen can't even get in a Swansea City team, and he wasn't great when he came on. And his clearance, his schoolboy stuff. He's kicked it straight up for a corner, and that's the only way they were going to score was from set piece.
Yeah, unfortunately, when you look at the bench, you think, right, well, how's he going to change the game with what's on the bench? Like, so. You know,
yeah, I agree.
It was an open game, and Craig, that's the way he wants to play, and he's got a formula, and the players like it, and at least he's got them all on the same hymn sheet. But when we're 1-0 up, I suppose you were thinking, like I was thinking, can we not close the game up somehow? You know, and stop it being a basketball match.
Yeah, I think he's got. I think obviously he's new to management. Perhaps that's part of his development, but. 85 minutes, you're 1-0 up in a World Cup qualifier, semi-final. You've got Cabango warming up for the last 10 minutes. It's just crying out, Chuck, get him on. Like I said, Bosnia chucked about 10 up front at the time because they were going gunno, and they looked like they were going to win the game then.
Yeah, the left winger was dangerous who come on.
Yeah, he was a good player.
And it looked like, you're right, you could have had another body.
Extra time, though, mate. Yous were back on top. In extra time, yous were back on top. You just lacked quality to score another goal. You just lacked that final piece. And as Dean said, you ain't got a striker, a top one.
No. Well, we put, like Dean said, we've got no strength and depth on the bench, but you put Mark Harris on, then we're whipping balls in the box. We've got like 6 or 7 centre-halves. And you got Mark Harris, who's like 5'10", and we're whipping balls in the box. I don't know. It's just...
Sober Thomas done well when he came on, I thought. He was gutted to be left out.
He done really well.
And I thought he put at least 10 crosses in the box. And I would like to think, if you've got an eye for goal as a striker, you get on the end of one of them.
Yeah, I know.
Brennan Johnson got on the end of one right in the last minute. Headed it back across the goal. Maybe should have headed for goal, but,
Yeah, he could have gambled on 2 or 3 other crosses Brennan Johnson could have.
Yeah, and the ball went out the back door, didn't it?
Haven't Wales got, though, like a 6'5" centre-forward knocking about?
Kiefer Moore.
Yeah, I know, but he's injured. Surely there's a Welsh centre-forward out there you could... because...
Jamie, I'd like to say
the quality you've got in wide areas, Harry Wilson, Sober Thomas, Brennan Johnson, the quality's there to put the balls in the right area. But, as he said, it was easy in the end for Bosnia. They're heading it away. And it was good quality crosses.
There's a shortage of goal poachers, people who actually, that's their job, to poach goals, rebounds off the keeper, get in front of people near post, find space in the box. We were taught as kids how to do it. And obviously you've got an instinct built in, which obviously gets you to the ball first. But because of the way the systems they're playing now, 4-3-3, we've ended up with one striker up the middle.
Yeah.
And we've not been coaching strikers how to poach goals anymore. It's not just Wales. If I asked you to name Scotland strikers, Ireland strikers, Northern Ireland strikers...
Oh, no, I hear you.
There's who's behind Harry Kane? Years ago, it was Robbie Fowler, Michael Owen, Emil Heskey, Teddy Sheringham, Alan Shearer, Peter Beardsley, Gary Lineker. Andy Cole couldn't get a game. Robbie Fowler couldn't get a game. Queuing up. Now you got Harry Kane, and then you got who? Ollie Watkins.
Yeah.
Who's after him?
Danny Welbeck.
Danny Welbeck's 37.
Ivan Toney.
Ivan Toney's in Saudi.
Yeah, and then who else? I mean, there's been a few been picked.
There must have been, when I was playing, there must have been
Solanke.
Esky, Crouch.
Yeah. No.
There must have been 15 strikers. Tony Cotty, Paul Rideout. They're queuing up. Couldn't get a cap.
Do you think that's a problem?
Yeah.
Do you think that's a massive problem?
Also, at the other end of the pitch, we've coached defenders to play out from the back and be good on the ball and forgot to teach them how to defend. And at some point, you're playing against the world's best forwards. If you haven't got the tools to stop Mo Salah and stop Kane, you've got to be able to defend first. Otherwise, you've got to score 3 every week. So that's a problem at the other end as well. Out-and-out defenders, because we've obviously thought, as a country, they're just hoofing it. We got big centre-halves who just booted up the pitch. Let's teach them how to play out from the back. Forgot to teach them how to defend as well while you were doing it. And the other end, we've got no poachers.
No.
Can you remember who's it played? Sean Gota played up front for Man City.
Yeah. Feed to go.
Yeah. Never scored a goal outside the 6-yard box. He's in there. Right place, right time. It's not coincidence. It's a knack. And you're training every day, making runs across the near post, making runs playing with a partner, one near, one far. And unfortunately, it's not just Wales. It's all the other countries as well.
Yeah. All right. Andy, thanks for calling. I'm going to go to James. He's a Wales fan. All right, James?
Hi, James.
How are you, mate?
James, how you feeling?
Yeah, not brilliant. As expected, but as soon as it goes to penalties, you know what's coming up.
Was you at the game or did you watch on TV?
No, I was 2 till 10, so I watched it on a TV in work.
Yeah, what do you think then?
Honestly, it's hard to say, to be honest. I think first half, I think we were excellent. Shut them out. They didn't have a lot of chances.
No.
Second half, they started to come into the game. Does Craig change it? I think a big loss for Wales was Josh James going off. I think he was stretching them, helping behind the front three. But Dean, you talk about strikers, about Mark Harris. He's not playing for Oxford. There's a young lad playing for Milton Keynes in the second division called Alan Collins. He's only playing in the second division because Bolton sold him for a couple of £1 million to Milton Keynes Dons. Young lad, plenty of place, knows where the goal is. I think he scored 10 or 12 this year. Yes, it's League Two, but he knows where the net is. Why
I know, but
James, come
you got
on, mate.
different levels.
Come on.
Why do you
League
think?
Two.
Why do you think?
Is that where you're at, Wales?
No, but what I'm saying is, this is. I don't know how to say that because you had Johnny Williams was playing League Two when he was playing for Wales. Great midfielder.
Johnny Williams has been a really good player for a long period of time.
No, he's a young lad and he's promising, by the way. But whether he's ready for
the kind of player who could play
playing games like
15 minutes in a Mark Harris he's not playing. What I'm saying is, it's a player that's playing. Yeah, I know it's a division or two below. He would have been playing in Bolton, who were near the top of the first division. But what I'm saying is, they sold him. Okay, yeah, Mark Harris is bottom with Oxford. Is there a lot of difference? Probably not. What I'm saying is, he's a young lad. He's got a bit more pace than Mark, and he's scoring goals.
Yeah.
Like you said, we're not scoring goals. Yes, he's not a prolific goal scorer, and we, like you said, we're not the only country, I think, that's missing prolific goal scorers. I think, when they're hard to come by.
Yeah, they are. You're right.
Saying that, the argument would be we beat Macedonia 7-1 in the last game. We never played with a striker. Yeah, Harry Wilson got hat-trick, so that would be the argument coming the other way. But at the end of the day, strikers cost you money for a reason.
Yeah. You've managed 80 minutes into the game, 1 or 2 games tired. What would you have done? Would you have brought on Josh Cullen? Goes forward.
Well,
probably not. As me, I wouldn't have done it. I'd have probably brought on Josh Sheehan. Sits there, plays the ball, 5-yard passes, don't give a ball away, and maybe try and tuck the game up,
Well, it's easy from watching on TV, and I've been on the side of the pitch, and you have to do what your instincts are telling you and the feelings you've got. I was thinking to myself, I pointed out to Jamie, look, we lost the ball on the edge of their box, and we've got 4 players out the game who are all attacking minded. Dan James, Brooks, Harry Wilson and Brennan Johnson were all the wrong side of the ball. So maybe you take a couple of attacking minds off, whichever one you want, and put a couple of defenders on, or defensive midfield players. So instead of counter-attacking with 4 players, we counter-attack with 2. We're 1-0 up. And we don't leave any gaps when we lose it, because the players, when they're not lethal in front of goal, they end up giving the ball away on the edge of the box, and then you get counter-attacked.
Yeah.
Whereas if you watch PSG, they finish the chances. So they send bodies forward and they finish the chances. They cut you up. If they don't finish chances, you're leaving the back. Your full-backs have joined in.
Yeah.
And you do 2 centre-backs are left
But I think Craig Bellamy, I listened to his interview before the game. You know, they said he was like, we're going for it. We're going for it.
Yeah,
he's got a mentality, and I think that's, it's a brave mentality to have.
Yeah.
And it might cost him tonight, but I like the way he set this Wales team up. There is a lack of quality which you can't get away from, but that is what it is. It's Wales.
You've watched Wales not very often, but you can see that the players are on the same hymn sheet. There's a way of playing, and that's Craig's formula.
Yeah.
You watch Spurs. I'm not sorry to bring Spurs up, and you look at the new manager and you think, well, what's he trying to do here?
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly right. You've got a lack of quality, and you didn't have enough on the pitch tonight to get it done. But I like the way the team's set up. I like the way you play. You just you just need to try and invent a striker. You've got to find a striker that can get you 6-7 goals in qualifiers and get you through.
Yeah, and
you can't rely on Harry Wilson every game.
And you got a young lad there playing centre half with Joe Roden. He's only got 4 caps. He's playing in a big game like that, playoff game, and he's playing against Jekyll, who's backing into him, using all his experience. Yeah. I remember
goals,
honestly, when I got over 30, and I seen the team sheet go up, and it had a young defender playing, I used to rub my hands together, because they're learning on the job.
Yeah,
you can out-experience them just by nudging them. Mm. You walk in front of them as they give fouls away.
Yeah.
When the ball goes over their head, they don't clear it. They have another touch, and you catch them with the ball because they're young and they're learning.
Yeah.
But today, I thought he'd done well, considering.
I thought he's done all right. I mean, he's gone out on pens. Do you know? It's a gutter. He's gone out on pens. It's fine margins. That's how it always is. Wales have gone out. Ireland have gone out. I want to hear from Ireland fans. Give us a call. That they threw it away, 2-0 up. I mean, that's unbelievable. They were in total control of the game and thrown it away, and they've gone out on penalties as well tonight. Get your calls in 03 717 22 3344.
Think about it. The only person that's not going to lose anything out of this deal is Mo Salah. And when he signs a 2-year contract and got himself a new contract and got himself the highest paid and one of the highest paid players in the Premier League, it was because Liverpool managed to achieve, or probably on his behalf, a 2-year deal that they didn't particularly want. I think they wanted a 1-year deal. And when we heard Virgil van Dijk, the caller was talking about the commentary of Virgil van Dijk and Mo Salah, what we heard was a load of old rubbish from Virgil van Dijk and Mo Salah about how they'd heard nothing from the club, no one had spoken to them, no one had given them any indications, all that nonsense, because clearly agents would have been speaking to the club. What they hadn't heard at that time is, yes, you can have precisely what you want. That's what they hadn't heard at that particular time. So when we use that as part of the architecture of a conversation to justify people's behaviour...
No, I think you're right there. I don't think they did come out and say, I'm staying. They didn't. he's got it wrong. They actually did play the game.
Of course they did. So in this instance, when you look at Mo Salah has orchestrated a circumstance where he engineered a contract as a result of his previous worth that Liverpool gave him enormous amounts of money. He hasn't turned up until his outburst. He then had an outburst. It's orchestrated this outcome. And as a result of that outburst, if you follow the line dots and probably join them up, Liverpool are the ones that are going to lose out on a player that they've paid 400 grand a week for that has barely turned up this season, that has got a longer-term contract that was designed to protect their interests, which has done the polar opposite, and has got them out of a transfer fee. And the only person that will not be 1 single cent out of pocket in any shape or form, performance-wise or value-wise, is Mohamed Salah.
You listen to the Sports Bar, talkSPORT. Me, Jeremy Hart, Dean Saunders. Keep your calls coming in. Tonight's internationals. Let's hear, though, from Wales forward Harry Wilson. Been speaking after getting knocked out tonight. His reaction with talkSPORT's Lawrence Mora.
Absolutely gutted. We were all so desperate to get to America and play at the World Cup, and to finish the qualifying so strongly. I felt we were in a really good position going into the semi-final today, and don't think we expected to dominate from start to finish, but I felt for large spells we did, especially with the ball. And I think when we went 1-0 up, thought the game maybe would have opened up a bit, and we might have been able to get the second or third, but so they grew into the game, and we weren't able to hold out. And when it goes to extra time and people get tired, the game gets stretched, the quality maybe drops, and we weren't able to find that breakthrough. We know that on that day, we're a really, really good team, and we showed that throughout the qualifying campaign. And saying there, although we're all disappointed, it's about looking forward now. It wasn't meant to be this time, but we know we've got a Nations League A campaign to come, which is going to be tough, but they're the games we want to play in, and then on to the next Euros, which we're all desperate to play.
Harry Wilson there, absolutely gutted. Let's go to Chris. He's a Wales fan. Hi, Chris.
Hi, Chris.
Good evening, guys. How's it going?
I'm all right. You was at the game?
I was at the game. I'm absolutely gutted. I feel like we started really, really well. But after taking the lead, I think Bosnia really grew into the game and adapted well. And I think we maybe changed our game plan a little bit, stopped pressing. And I'm a big Craig Bellamy fan. I think he's really brought some passion to the place. But I think some of the substitutions tonight were questionable. I think Brendan had a stinker.
We did.
How he stayed on the pitch for 120 minutes, I don't know. And I think there were some options on the bench. Players like Haaaaas perhaps who could have brought something a bit more to the table. But it's just such a missed opportunity, guys. Like I feel like we should be looking forward to a final on Tuesday, and instead we've got a random friendly against Northern Ireland instead.
Yeah, I have to say, Brennan Johnson. Look, I watch him a lot. I've watched him a lot at Tottenham. He's so frustrating because he's got talent, right? He's got ability.
Quick.
He's quick. Yeah, he's quick. But he is the most frustrating footballer to watch I think I've seen ever. Honestly, mate. Honestly, he will blow your mind. And I said to you tonight, I said, Brennan Johnson takes a pen. I would not be surprised if he missed.
He scored 19 goals last season.
Oh, I know. He was Tottenham's top scorer, but we sold him. What does that say?
He'll be gutted tonight.
I feel for him because, on a human level, you're gutted, but big moment, big game. He had a stinker. You've got to step up in them big moments. Wales can't afford passengers.
No, we were just talking there in the break. Me and Jamie were talking, and I was saying, if we win the penalty shootout, then Craig Bellamy's brilliant because we've lost it.
There have been a few people though saying he's got it wrong tonight, Dean.
There are people who are going to say that because they've lost, but they've not lost the game. We've drawn the game. We've lost on pens. So
you lost.
So but they were there for the taking, weren't they? Bosnia. It's not like playing against Spain or Belgium when you think they're lethal. They didn't look like They look punchless at times.
Well, you
but
allowed them back in
Dzeko's
the
on
game.
pitch.
You allowed them back in the game in the second half.
Yeah, they've had 5 shots, 38% possession. We've had 62% possession and only had 3 shots on target, but we've hit the bar twice. It's just a sickness. Penalty shootout, toss of a coin, innit?
Yeah,
Brennan's penalty was over the bar. I've done that. Have you done that? A penalty over the bar. We've all done it.
I don't know if it. I mean, listen, I'm missing the cup final. It's at Wembley, so
Yeah,
I know how
I
it
remember
feels.
that.
Yeah, I know how it feels.
Cost the club millions.
Let's go to Steve, who's an Ireland fan. Steve.
Hi, Steve.
Is on hold.
Steve?
He's on hold.
No.
Steve, are you there, Steve?
Steve, you there? No, we'll come back to him. Yeah. Let's go to Anthony. He's an Ireland fan. Hi, Ant.
Hi, Ant.
All right, lads. How's it going?
Oh, Not bad. How you feeling, mate? I feel like Ireland have thrown that one away.
I'm sick. Honest to God, I'm absolutely sick. My young lad, 10-year-old lad, has gone to bed, and he said he's not going to school in the morning. So I don't know where that's going to go.
You got to be waking him up at 7 o'clock, mate. He's got to go.
Oh, he has to go. Yeah, no worries there. But here we got off a great start, but the penalty I think killed us.
Yeah.
The tug on the throats. I hate to single anybody out, like, but
stupid.
Penalty killed us.
Stupid.
Yeah, crazy.
You're so comfortable 2-0 up, and you let them back in it straight away. It kind of takes the stuffing out of you.
Yeah, maybe if you'd have listened to Irish TV, as Peter Mann said, he said maybe if you'd have put the foot on the ball for a bit, it could have calmed it down a bit. But that's Ireland for you. That's the way it goes, unfortunately. But the penalties then, penalties we missed weren't great. But what can you do? Them lads are brave enough to step up and take them penalties. I appreciate that. You know, I'd never say anything like that about any lads. You know, they put the shirt on and they're proud to play for Ireland. I really respect that.
Hey, Messi and Ronaldo have missed penalties. Everybody, you miss penalties. And by the way, some goalkeepers are really good at saving penalties.
Yeah.
You've got to give the keeper a bit of credit.
Queebe's normally very good, but look, that's the way it goes. You know yourself, when you have a 10-year-old trying to explain these things to them, you know, it's not great, you know.
Hey, remember when Niall Quinn saved one of my penalties? At Man City. Niall Quinn saved one of my penalties.
Winning goal?
Yeah. I went round Tony Colton, got sent off.
Yeah.
And Niall Quinn went in.
And he
saved my pen, yeah. And he never lets me forget it. Once a year, he lets me know.
I bet he don't. And look, where do Ireland go from here? Because no World Cup. You've done well, really, to get to this point when I thought, really, you're dead and buried. Troy Parrott got you out of a massive hole.
That lad, export man, Jamie, as well.
Yeah. But look, where do you go from here? Because I feel like Ireland, again, the same as Wales, you're lacking quality.
Yeah, here, look, I'm not deluded. I see where the players play and everything, and they're good lads, they're good, honest players, you know. We really, if we had had Grealish and the other lad on first, I can't think of his name now, Declan, might have been a different story tonight.
I know, mate, but, you know.
That's the talker and right there, you know.
Do you know, I was saying to Jamie earlier, when you're training at international level, when you're playing, you just get on with it, like you're playing with players who also play in the Premier League. And then a player gets called up from League One or League Two, or the Championship. Even the Championship players, they stand out. They're off the pace compared to the Premier League players. You know, in training, like they get caught on the ball or they're not like a yard behind. That's the difference between. And when you play against these teams, all the best players in that country are playing. They're the best player in the country in their position, and you roll up with Championship players, eventually it finds you out.
No, I hear you. England don't have that problem.
But they're queuing up to play for England, aren't they? It's like a scrap between 8 of them for the number 10 spot.
I know. We are blessed. It feels like England have got a ridiculous amount of riches in terms of player quality. Ireland, Wales, I mean, look, fair play to Scotland, they've got there, but I do feel like there is a lack of depth of quality in the other home nations. There really is. That is a massive problem. I remember Ireland, you know, I had the opportunity to play for Ireland. It's one I look back on and I regret. I really wish I did because I've got a massive Irish family. And I remember getting asked when I had that conversation with Trapattoni, Liam Brady, and they had a fantastic squad of players, like a brilliant squad of players.
Well, the strikers.
Well, you had Robbie Keane,
And before him, it was Cascarino, Niall Quinn, John Aldridge, John Byrne, Robbie Keane. Then
it's all Premier League. It's all Premier League players.
Scotland,
Premier League players.
Ali McCoist, McAvenny.
Now I look at it and go,
Joe Jordan.
I look at them and go, who are some of these players? Where are they playing? Who are they?
There's a lot. Well, look, if Harry Kane gets injured, you're in trouble, by the way.
Well, yeah, we're in trouble when it comes to the last stages of a major tournament, but we ain't in trouble, are we? We've got Ollie Watkins. We've got Premier League strikers available.
You've got a few of it.
Ireland ain't, but Wales ain't.
No disrespect, Danny Welbeck wouldn't have expected to be in the England squad at 37.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's like, but you look round, who else you got? You got Ollie Watkins, Ivan Toney, Welbeck. Who else?
Well, you got Rashford, and you've got
but
Solanke.
Harry Kane's a goal poacher.
I know Harry Kane's the best striker in the world.
He scores all types.
You've seen what's
of
happened to Tottenham. Look at Tottenham without Harry Kane. Since we got rid of him, we fell off a cliff. Let me tell you, when it finally does stop for Harry Kane and England have got a massive problem. People do not realise how good Harry Kane is. Like, Spurs are going to get relegated. Like, that's how much you miss.
I've said
no matter,
that.
you cannot replace Harry Kane. You bring in Solanke, he ain't good enough. England have got the same. England will have the same problem unless there is a young kid who's coming through who's going to. But there isn't, because the problem you've got, and you mentioned it, that complete forward like a Harry Kane, they don't exist anymore. They're not out there. And if they are out there, they're worth 150 million quid, right? And there's one of them. There might be 5 in the world. Lewandowski, Kane. Who else?
Well,
Mbappe.
I'll tell you what you're born with.
They ain't out there.
This player you're on about, you're born with an instinct of where the ball's going to go before everybody else, and you're born with a drive that you get up in the morning and all you think about is how many goals you're going to score. And that's my job. You're born with that drive and instinct. Then you get coached. You get coached then, Jamie, where to run by a coach when you're young. Like my youth team coach was Les Chappell. He was a youth team coach. He was a striker, as a player. And he used to tell me all the goals are at the near post. Get out the defender's eye line and get across him last minute. Get across the near post. And you talk like that, but you're born with an instinct. Harry Kane was born with an instinct to score. And number one, drive. You can see he's thinking, I'm going to break all sorts of records. It's all he cares about, getting up in the morning. Some strikers don't care if they score or not. I don't think it means anything to them. They'd rather get an assist, some of them. But there is a shortage, and when he stops playing for England, you're in trouble. And Spurs, do you think Spurs would be in the trouble they're in now if he was still at the club?
Of course he wouldn't. Of course he wouldn't.
Add another 8 points on. Yeah, you can do that.
What about 20?
And Newcastle, Isaac's gone.
Yeah, I know.
Add another 8 points on there because he got 30-odd goals last season.
Yeah, I know. All right, keep your calls coming in. You can have your say. Ireland, obviously gutted tonight. Wales fans gutted. Northern Ireland fans gutted as well. We'll talk about Mo Salah as well. Dean wants to have his take on it. 03 717 22 33 44. Listen, it's hard to put this in order, so don't judge me on the order.
No, I don't want any order off you. I
so
just want your top 10.
Thierry Henry, Alan Shearer, Rooney, Salah, Gerrard, Patrick Vieira, Kevin De Bruyne, Aguero, Lampard, and one player to finish it off. Yes, didn't win anything at this club, but when he was at his best that season for Spurs, Gareth Bale. He was unbelievable.
Yeah. Right, now the
Go
obvious...
on, dig me out then. Go on.
Well, no, the obvious thing to do, two names that spring to mind, would hit you with them. But unlike most people, I'm going to commend you and say yes, with the vast majority of them. I mean, it's impossible to put... Do you know something? What I would say to you is this. I don't think anybody would have any arguments probably with 7 of your 10.
Yeah.
You might have one or two that your own favourites, like you say, you enjoy watching, and they're special to you. Henry, Shearer, absolutely different level.
Yes.
Different level. Absolutely different
Agreed.
level. And you've obviously, after that, you've got Rooney, Salah, Gerrard, for me as well, would come into the equation. Lampard's absolutely in the equation. The two, yes. The two that I would maybe look at and say consider themselves slightly unlucky, I don't see Harry Kane, I don't see Ryan Giggs.
Yep.
Have you've not got Roy Keane in it, have you?
No.
You know, so there's maybe 3 that would that would certainly be in some people's top
100%.
10, Gab.
Keep your calls coming in on the Sports Bar. You want to talk about international football tonight and the lack of quality at international level for the home nations. It is a talking point. It really is. We're going to get into that. But there's been some big news coming out of Liverpool this week. Have to talk with Dino about it. Mo Salah has announced that he will leave the club for free this summer. Former Liverpool manager Jurgen Klopp has broken his silence on Mo Salah's impending departure from the Reds. Here he is talking to the Anfield Wrap about the legacy that Salah will leave behind.
Unbelievable goal. So he was part of the best front three in world football for a long time and was the one who always had the highest numbers. So that says something. That really says something. It's not easy to be slightly above the other two guys, and they have all their specific skills, but Mo was the one for the last situation. He wanted to have that more than anybody. So Sadio was a mix of both. Like, yes, he wanted to score goals, but he could have played midfield even. So that's his skill set. Bobby was the genius who didn't care about anything and could play absolutely everything. And Mo was the one who was really always the goal in his mind. And you cannot train that, and I don't think you really can learn it. It's inside, and he has that, and he will have that until the last day of his life. I'm pretty sure that's why it was the challenge, because if you want to rotate or whatever, and you take him off after 87 minutes, you could see in his face he saw I could have scored 3 in the last 5.
Yeah, that's Jurgen Klopp speaking about Mo Salah, and touch on basically what we were kind of talking about with strikers these days, where you said some of them don't have that. They don't have that drive to, I want 1, I want 2, I want 3, I want to keep scoring, you know?
Yeah. And
I just feel like, I don't know if it's a dying art. The striker, the goal-scoring mentality, just to get goals, constantly think about goals.
Ian Rush, right, scored 360 goals, I think, just for Liverpool, right? Ridiculous amount of goals for Liverpool. And he wasn't really bothered if he touched the ball in the game. And we used to talk because we played for Liverpool together and we used to play for Wales together. So he said the difference between playing for Liverpool is if I miss a chance, there's 3 more coming before the end of the game. If I miss one for Wales, that's it. You know, we don't get as many chances.
Yeah.
But he didn't care if he touched the ball. And he was like lightning over 10 yards. And anything happened out wide, quick. Full-back slipped over. Winger got past him. He'd win the race to the 6-yard box. That was his job. one near, one far. We played as pairs.
That's what I found tonight when I watched Wales and Ireland as well. I think Ireland have got that problem as well.
What about Jurgen Klopp's interview there? He's got a Liverpool tracksuit on.
Yeah.
What's all that about?
What do you make of Mo Salah? Just quickly on Mo Salah. What?
Right, the man's a genius, and there's no doubt he's one of the best players ever to play for Liverpool. His consistency over the last 8 years has been unbelievable. This season, for some reason, he's not played like he can play. He's then got the hump with the manager and thrown his toys out the pram and said the club's thrown him under the bus. And really, he wasn't playing well himself. There's reasons. Trent's gone. He's not getting the ball early enough. I'm his biggest fan.
Yeah.
But he shouldn't have done what he done when he said he had to go, saying the club's thrown him under the bus. He shouldn't have done that. Bearing in mind, the club give him a new 2-year contract on whatever. I know, does it matter? 400 grand a week. It's a lot of money for the club for his age. They've done that. And 8 months later, something's gone wrong. And I know a lot of people aren't going to say this, but I think he's thrown his toys out the pram again. So all of a sudden, he's going to Saudi 8 months ago for
I don't know where he's going.
For 100 million. Where, Jamie? The transfer fee, if he left Liverpool, was maybe 100 million. Somehow, halfway through his new contract, he's going on a free transfer. What's happened there? I think he's just thrown his toys out the pram, and he said, "Right, I'm off. I don't like the manager, and I'm leaving."
Mm.
And the club's gone, "Right, well, hang on, you got a contract," and he's gone, "No, I'm leaving on a free." So they've lost 100 million if they'd have sold him in the summer. But what can you say? I think he's done brilliant for the club, and they'll build a statue of him maybe in the future. But I think this situation's happened because he's thrown his toys out the pram. He doesn't get on with the manager. He thinks he's going to leave him out. And to be honest with you, there's 7 games to go. Has that helped the football club coming out with that?
Well,
tell me then how it could help the football club. Because bearing in mind, Liverpool, no one's bigger than the club. No one's bigger than Liverpool Football Club. You're just a little cog in a massive machine.
Klopp done the same, though.
What do you mean?
Klopp announced early that he was leaving, didn't he?
Yeah, but different when the manager just signed a new contract.
No, I agree with you.
8 months ago.
I agree with you. He signed a new deal, and then all of a sudden he's leaving. I get it. I do. I was surprised.
So if you're Arnie Slot now, do you pick him? There's one problem. Do you pick him when he don't want to be there? So he said he don't want to be there. So what are you going to do now?
I think you got a plan.
Well, that's up to the manager. But he's got a dilemma because if anybody else done that, you'd go, well, if you don't want to be here, you're not playing.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Play someone who wants to be here.
No, they have got a problem.
And has it helped the morale of the team? Do you think it's helped the morale of the team? Arguably, your best players leaving. With 7 games to go, they're still in the Champions League, still in with a chance of FA Cup
and Champions League football.
And they're trying to get in Champions League football.
Yeah.
And your best player's announced he's leaving halfway through he's 8 months into his new contract. And he's leaving for free. That's the bit I don't get. How's he leaving for free?
No, I
Unless it's written in his contract, we don't know. But
I agree with you.
But I don't want to criticise him too much.